I took my sons on a trip to Memphis a few years ago to go to Lorraine Hotel, and so they could see firsthand, just see history about
Right.
Dr. King, his last final moments, what he was there for, etc. And I knew we were close enough to Little Rock, Arkansas, to make that drive, so we did. We took the drive to Little Rock and specifically went to Little Rock Central High School. And going there, it's still a functional high school, which ironically is mostly Black now.
Yeah.
And they have a cultural center walking distance from the school, which tells you the story about what was going on. And I can't tell you how much I learned from that little trip and what I had wrong. I used to think that the National Guard was brought in to allow the children of the Little Rock Nine to go to school, to allow them to go there. And didn't realize I had it backwards, that the governor actually called the National Guard to block them, from going to school. And it took President Eisenhower to call the governor and tell him that the Supreme Court has ruled on the Brown versus Board of Education, and this takes effect immediately. The court has already decided.
Right.
And the governor fought back with nope, states' rights, and they didn't specifically say when it had to start. When it had to start. So in his eyes, he wasn't going to abide by the Supreme Court's ruling immediately. He was going to do it on his terms, which would have been at the elementary school level first, not at the middle or high school levels, because he knew he had angry parents. They didn't want to, didn't want their kids integrating with Black students. And so it took President Eisenhower to send in the I think the 81st Airborne, 101st maybe. If I got that wrong, I apologize. And so when they went in, they had bayonets on the end of the rifles, during that time. So they knew they wouldn't have any mobs trying to attack them or attacking the children like they did before, because you had angry mobs. You've seen those photos of people surrounding those kids. It's shameful. But I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until I went to that particular, on that trip, because I had it wrong. I just thought the National Guard was there to help them, and it wasn't. They were there to prevent them. So it's just things like that you learn. You learn about the importance of Brown versus the Board of Education and the efforts of Thurgood Marshall, which eventually got him onto the Supreme Court, and how important that is, and how realizing how important it is to have a type of Supreme Court that does care about civil rights, that does care about equalness, equality and fairness. If you don't have that, like what we have right now, which is a disgrace, these are the things that affect our society for decades.